Gears a little bit, Walter Russell Mead, Wall Street Journal columnist and historian. Walter, there you are. Walter, a couple of things. I was somewhat surprised. I don't know if you got the readout at the UN bilateral with Mr. Zelensky. President Trump came out and said that looking at the whole story, he now favors Ukraine taking back all of the territories that they have lost during this long Russian war. He had never really said that before. Strategically, Walter, how do you read that?
Well, I think he's looking at a situation where, on the one hand, he's offered Vladimir Putin all kinds of opportunities to end the war with a compromise, and Putin so far has just been blowing them off. And so there's that. But on the other hand, he doesn't want the Americans to be the ones who are having to take the full brunt of the war. So he linked his call for Ukraine to take territory back with calls for the Europeans to do more, to take the lead in this. So I think he's trying to balance those two things, that Ukraine, as he sees it now, is a stronger partner than it was before, but at the same time, the United States wants the Europeans, not the Americans, to be the sort of front man in the West's response to the Russian invasion.
Well, he also mentioned, Walter, on that point, he basically said, if Russia flies or sends drones over European NATO airspace, which they have done in the Baltics and in Poland, he said, go ahead and shoot them down. He said, go ahead and shoot him down. And in fact, a reporter asked Mr. Trump if the United States, would back up any of these countries as they've done that. And he didn't say yes, but he didn't say no. In other words, this was the most involvement I've heard from the president on the whole Russian-Ukraine war, Walter.
I think so. I think over the last few months, we've seen him move steadily in the direction of more support for Ukraine, more engagement in this. And again, I think it's traceable to Putin clearly wanting to just press ahead. We had him attacking European airspace. We had him, drones in Poland, overflights in Estonia. He keeps pushing and pushing and pushing. And as Americans learned during the Cold War, the Russians will push until they meet real resistance. And once you've convinced them that they cannot go further by just probing, well, then you can actually sometimes sit down and make a deal with them. But you first have to convince them that they can't just take it, they can't just get what they want by storming ahead.
And Walter, one last one on the subject of financing the war, buying Russian oil. Now, he said again today that there'll be big tariffs on those who purchase Russian oil, but that has not happened. And it is true, as Mr. Trump has pointed out, that the Europeans haven't cooperated. They're still buying Russian oil. In fact, some studies show they're buying more Russian oil than they're contributing to Ukraine for the war. But he needs NATO countries, 100%, I think, to back him up on the oil tariffs, or does he? What do you think?
I think he does. Look, he's got to have the Europeans in the front here. And there are two reasons for that. One is, if the Europeans aren't really serious about this, then we can't expect to put the kind of pressure on Russia that would lead to real changes in Putin's policy. But on the other hand, too, Trump has American public opinion. And fundamentally, if the war in Ukraine is kind of in defense of Europe, can you sell to the American people, well, we're going to care more about German security than Germany does. So the Europeans have to be in the lead on this. There's no other way.
All right, got it. Walter Russell Mead, as always, thank you for your insights. We appreciate it very, very much.